Hi, here's some quick tips on adjusting the truss rod of your bass. First off, make sure you have the right tool. Not just the right size, but it should fit into the opening. So on this one, I had to cut a little bit off. If you'll notice, there's about a quarter of an inch cut off this Allen wrench, and that's to fit down in the socket. You could try using this ball end, but it mauls the metal more often because people are making the mistake of trying to adjust the truss rod in tune. So let me grab the bass. Right now, all the strings are slack. They're not playable at all. And then, if you notice, I don't know how great this will be in focus on there, this will fit down in. Doing it this way puts it at an angle, and you're bound to mess up that little bit of metal in there. So this fits. Move the string out of the way. And what I'm going to do is just carefully, slightly turn till I feel a little pressure. Get that, make sure it's in the truss rod. So that's feeling tight. I'm going to go a hair more. I'm not using all my strength. I'm just feeling it snug up. This is putting a back bow into the instrument, which once I try to tune it up, will buzz and fret out constantly. But I want that right now. On the next step, after I tune it, no need for you to watch me tune, I'll explain why. So I've tuned the bass up with the last fret. Everything else is pretty much unplayable. So, unless you have a super light touch, the next step is to loosen the truss rod gradually until the neck gets the right amount of relief that you would need for your playing style. So now I've loosened the truss rod up a little bit, and it's going to be buzzy, but that is an important component in rock and roll. A lot of the, Chris Squire type and Billy Sheehan sounds come from the fret buzz, that little bit of sizzle. Oops, that was my fretting. Now that may be unpleasant to you, but it's part of a rock and roll sound. And if you want less, well, loosen the truss rod. And on this bass, it's a little tight to get in there, so I detune the A and the D string, just so I can have a little slack. And now this should get less buzz, a little more slack on that D string, get that string out of the way. So I notice I'm really only doing about a quarter turn at a time at this point. And then, I'll tune this back up and see how it sounds then. There, so now it's back in tune, and it's more like where I like it. It has some sizzle, if I dig hard, clean. So that's the simplest way to set up a bass to be sure you're not going to damage the truss rod. Like, say you want to put a real heavy set of strings on, you tune it up, and the neck's going to bend, and you try and get that out by tightening the truss rod. You're just going to crush the wood in the truss rod if it's a Gibson style, or you're going to strip the truss rod nut with probably with the round end of the Allen key. So it's important to have the right size tool, and always make your adjustments with the bass tuned way down or totally slack. Thanks.